Pull up a chair and buckle up. It's the Original Strength BodCast. Hey guys, today on the BodCast, I am talking with my good friend Tash Weddle. Tash is the founder and CEO of TNB Fitness in Nashville, Tennessee, and she's also the president and CEO of the New Beginning Center. The New Beginning Center is a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to helping women achieve healthy lifestyle through education, nutrition, and fitness. Tash is a rock star. She is the synonym of strength. She knows no quit and she gets things done. Thanks for listening, everyone.
I guess I'll start with how I got into the fitness industry. So I'm from Indiana and I'm 6'2", so of course I played basketball and was the only person in my family to be able to go to college because of a scholarship. So I started out at North Carolina State, and then I blew my knee out 3 times in 2 years. And after all the surgeries, I decided to transfer, and I finished playing at the University of Evansville. So it was out of 5 years, I actually got to play 2 years and just played with injuries and playing in pain. And, I thought that I wanted to be a basketball coach. And then when I finally, graduated, I had learned to love the weight room, and that's where I felt success. And so I'm like, I want to be a college strength coach. So I volunteered my time for 2 years at the University of Tennessee, paid out-of-state tuition, put in my 20 hours a week just because I wanted to learn and learn from the best. And so we did win 2 national championships those 2 years. I then went to Kent State for my first full-time position, had like tons of sports. It was there were times where there would be 40 track athletes and just me in the weight room. It was a lot, but I learned a ton still, and was there for 2 years. Then I went to Purdue and was there for 5 years, and then wanted to get out of the Midwest, so moved to Nashville to work at Vanderbilt. And I was there for 8 years. So all of those years in collegiate strength and conditioning were great, loved it, but quite frankly, as a woman, I wasn't getting any further in the profession, and I didn't like that feeling. And I kind of got tired of living in the bubble of sports. Like, life is great when you're winning. It's not when you're not. And I just felt like there has to be more to life than just sports. So I co-founded the nonprofit called the New Beginning Center. And it really came about because I always did some personal training to supplement my income. And one of my clients at the time was about to retire as the Habitat for Humanity CEO here in Nashville. And she was the one who said, have you ever thought about offering your skills to the women who couldn't afford this? Because that, it's a very real thing. Like, I don't think our fitness industry is doing a good job of helping the old people, the low income people, the self-conscious people. I mean, you walk into a lot of big box gyms or these franchises, and it's just like they're trying to attract the young, pretty healthy people. And I'm like, I'd had a knee replacement at the age of 37. I couldn't walk into CrossFit or Orange Theory without having to make changes, and I didn't like that feeling. So I'm like, well, we will also start a social enterprise. So started 2 businesses: a nonprofit helping women with lower incomes, fitness, nutrition, lifestyle coaching. And then I also started a for-profit social enterprise and targeted women over 40. So it's a women's only training facility. Most of our clients are well over 40, and 20% of what they pay goes to help the women who couldn't afford that opportunity. And I've been doing this full time now for about 9 years.
Wow. So with the people that you're helping, how do they find you? Like, what is the process like for a woman to get started with you?
Right. So on the nonprofit side, we're partnering with other nonprofits that serve the same population. Physicians refer, word of mouth. It's a big deal when a woman starts. So it's a cohort. So we go through 12-week programs with the same groups, and they build, each day builds on the next through the nutrition coaching and all of it. And, that's a big commitment because most of these women have never taken this time to take care of themselves. And we're asking them for 12 weeks to come twice a week or more. They're going to talk about that to their friends, especially when they start feeling good. And the other side of the business, really, it's just been word of mouth. There's nothing quite like this that I know of anywhere. And we find a way to work with everybody. It's not a workout of the day. We're writing hundreds of programs individually for each client because everybody has their special issues that we have to work around. And so I think too, I've had a lot of opportunities to speak. We've had some earned media, people just, on the news, things like that people just hear about us.
So you said it's a 12-week initiative and you mentioned the word nutrition. So they're not just working out, it's more of a holistic approach. Can you tell us
Correct.
about that?
Yeah, so we just basically use precision nutrition, habit-based coaching, but we're meeting them where they are, right? And most of these women are eating fast food more often than not in a week when they start, and we're just keeping it super basic and understanding that they might have, financial restrictions on, they're not going to go buy, tons of grass-fed beef, and so or be able to, protein is expensive, so we're just trying to work with them on how can we just get them from where they are to a little bit better. The big thing is getting them to prepare their food ahead of the time so they're not relying on fast food, not going all day without eating and then binging at night. Just getting them to drink more water, get some more sleep. We really focus on stress as well, but we have them do personal mission statements. We have them do vision boards. We have them do a book club. I want them to get in front of each other and talk and get out of their comfort zone. So
What happens after the 12 weeks?
So once they graduate, they can continue to come to our facility Monday, Wednesday, Saturdays for really as long as they want to, forever. And we still have some women who were in the program in 2012 coming back. We
Really?
also have 5 satellite programs around town out of family resource centers that they can go to as well.
Wow. So it's in the beginnings is really growing and spreading out then.
We're trying. Yeah. I mean, one of my big obstacles is finding good coaches, to be quite honest, who have the heart for what we're doing. And, we don't pay the best as a nonprofit, and just getting people with experience. That's probably, I think, a lot of businesses issue right now.
Right.
In the industry.
How I'm sure you have a few. Do you have any like cool client stories that just really ring your bell?
Lots. It's, we average about 8% improvement in body composition through those 12 weeks. But we see half of the women on medications get off of those, specifically for hypertension and type 2 diabetes. And really, Tim, if you saw how these women on their first workout, they're uncomfortable, they're scared, they have probably had bad experiences with fitness if they even had physical education, and where they end up on that last workout, pushing sleds, throwing med balls, swinging kettlebells, leopard crawling, all this stuff. It's like, wow, the body is truly resilient. That's my favorite thing, is when I think fitness, there's nothing better than for building self-respect than that time you spend physically in the weight room. And I think that's my favorite thing. And so we have a graduation. We just had one last week and all of our women graduated. And it's when they talk about the internal changes that they experienced that makes me the happiest. When you can tell they love themselves a little more, they're going to take a little bit, and it translates to everything that they do. So, we have stories of women going back to college, of women leaving abusive relationships, of,
Wow.
All kinds of things. Because when you change that, right, that inside stuff, then everything else is impacted. So we really, it took me years to get to people like, this is not a weight loss program. This is not about dieting. This is about building yourself up from the inside out, getting out of your comfort zone a little bit more each day, and then reaping those benefits.
That is really awesome. I was looking on your website and I saw, and I don't know if she's still training there, but it looked like you had a 99-year-old lifting champion working out there. Is that so?
No, we had an 89-year-old woman who was in the first yoga place here in Nashville.
Okay.
But, no, we've never had a powerlifter. Maybe that was on our Facebook page and we reposted or something.
Or you know what? I could have read that without wearing my glasses, and it could have been 89-year-old yoga trainer.
No, but we have I think she's 68, 69. She can do multiple chin-ups. She just deadlifted 185, which she doesn't weigh that much. So yeah, I mean, it really is amazing. And I see like at around 50, 52, It's so important. Like if people don't continue to move, I've seen 52-year-olds that can't get up off the floor,
Oh, wow.
and I've seen 52-year-olds that could have beat some of the athletes that I trained. So
So it's we're 2 years through. Well, in I don't know, we're not through, but did how did how did COVID affect the New Beginning Center?
well, we were shut down on the New Beginning Center for 11 weeks. We were shut down on TMB Fitness, the for-profit side, for 9 weeks. And we lost half of our clients on the paying side, but you know what? Half of the people continued to pay us in spite of not coming. So I think that's strong. And most of them came back. So it's all a blur. How long has it been? Has it been 2 years?
2 years.
Yeah, it's taken us that long to get back. I mean, the fitness industry it's not a business you build fast.
Right.
And so it's been a lot of work and a lot of stress. And I think there's a part of me that will never sit back and be like, oh, everything's great, because COVID could happen again. But I had to let go of some coaches during that time. I'm the CEO of the New Beginning Center, and I'm out on the floor 6 to 8 hours a day coaching, and I'm trying to fundraise, and it's just, I think I learned how much I can do, but I also might have learned my limits. And the good news is it forced us to make some systems changes and logistics thing, and that made us better. So we now have a virtual program for the New Beginning Center. We have women in Arizona and Minnesota. We're able to help them with that. We're launching a new software to help us do that better. I parceled out my gym into 12 spots, and we find that we can, as coaches, coach instead of just 3 people at a time. We can coach 4 or 6 people at a time, because now we know where they are. They're not moving all around. So just some things that worked better for having gone through it.
So it became a good opportunity for growth then.
Yeah, yeah. In the end, it did, because we're doing well.
So if the New Beginning Center is also virtual and you have people in Arizona or wherever, how do people find that? Like, and how do you even find out about you if it's virtual? That's pretty neat.
Yeah, doing things like this podcast.
Right. Huh.
It comes back to, I mean, we're just now getting this rolling out, and we're starting a teenage girls program as well. So yeah, getting the word out is part of it, and we're not ready to grow it super fast yet. So we're pretty much just, using our social media, our email lists, and things like that for promoting that now.
So you're just, have you started the teenage girl program, or you're going to start it?
We're in a pilot right now.
Okay.
We have 5 girls in it, and from a standpoint of fundraising, it's going to be much easier to fundraise for teenage girls than it is for middle-aged women. So I think there's so much opportunity there of how we can grow it. And talk about, all of these girls, they don't play sports, or they don't have that opportunity, and the same thing. It's not about like whipping them into shape. It's about a holistic program.
Yeah.
Of building confidence and putting more strong women out there. And, hopefully, more girls can go to college because they have more confidence, and help connect them to the resources that are out there.
I cannot imagine a more trying time than being a teenager, especially in today's world where, social media information is nonstop, and all the lines that are drawn in the sand.
Sure.
So I'm sure you're going to be able to help a lot of people that need your help in that respect.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the teenage girl program.
So where do you go from here? Like, what are your perfect world plans for the growth of the New Beginning Center?
Well, we're actually doing some succession planning, because it has gotten to a point where there are 2 businesses, and they're both big enough now. I can't do it both. And so, putting our director of operations into more of a leadership role so that I can focus on one or the other. I really feel that the way we've systemized things in both is smart, the way we did that. I think that, I don't want to just throw the word franchise out like so easily, because we're not close to that. But I look at some of the gyms, and I'm not sure you can really franchise fitness. well and keep it individualized, right?
Right.
And appropriate. And I kind of like that challenge of figuring that out. How can we do that? And so starting to think about systems and the training that would be required and all that so that we could possibly have another location.
Well, you said it earlier at the beginning, like if you're able to meet people where they're at, and if you can figure out how to do that, I mean, there's really nobody you can't help.
Right. Sure. Right. I mean, some of the women, it's nothing to see, a 68-year-old walk in who everything hurts. And it's like, what do you do? And I will say, this is where the resets really have helped a lot. And you know what? They're easy to teach coaches. They're easy to teach clients. And when somebody just starts moving around and feeling better, then it's like it just opens a door
Right.
for us that, otherwise what would we do with them?
So if somebody's in the Nashville area, or let's just dream and say they're in California and they want to start training at the New Beginning Center, where can they go and what can they do?
Well, they can go to our website, thenewbeginningscenter.org, and reach out, submit an application. And like I said, that's based on HUD housing. So I believe it's like 47,000 or less for a single household, and then it scales up. There's no cost associated with that. And then if somebody can afford training, then TMD Fitness would be that option for them. And 20% of what they would pay goes to help the women who couldn't afford that.
I think that's a beautiful model. That's really cool.
Thank you.
So Tash, any words of encouragement for the lady out there that wants to get in better shape, doesn't feel like she can, doesn't feel like she has the energy to, the means to, or the knowledge to? What would you say?
Well, reach out to us. That's what we're here for. But I think that, we talk about the 777s. I didn't come up with that. But it's something so simple as drink 7 cups of water, walk 7,000 steps, get 7 hours of sleep. And that's like an anchor habit for us, right? Because you're building self-efficacy. And even if you have a horrible day with everything else and you screwed up all this other stuff, you just keep going back to doing those things so that you start to build that belief in yourself that you can do more. And so my advice would be take it slow, pick something you're 90% sure you can do. And then one of the things that I think women are especially bad at is giving yourself permission to feel successful, even with the small things, because it is success that builds more success, not self-condemnation. And so if we all could feel a little more successful, we would be more successful.
That was awesome. Tash, thank you very much for being on the show.
Sure thing. Thanks for having me. It's great to see you.
You too.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Now get outside and play.